Are you watching the FIFA? Well, if you are watching football, I know that you are glued to the television every single night the game is being played. To be honest, I don't watch football so much, but I have realized that you can learn so many English expressions from this wonderful game. So today I'm going to teach you football expressions, right? So what are these football expressions? Stay with me because you don't want to miss them out, especially if you love football. The first one is to get the ball rolling. Now there is a reason why I put this idiom at the beginning of my lesson. You know why? Because the meaning is to start an activity and get it in motion. So what have we done right now? We've started our lesson and we're kind of gaining momentum. We're getting it in motion. In a sentence, I could say, to get the ball rolling on the bridge construction, the government contributed $7 million. Okay, so the bridge construction was an activity, right? But you have to start the activity and get it in motion. In other words, you have to get the ball rolling. Okay, that's what you do in a football game as well, don't you? Anyway, let's have a look at the next expression, which is get a kick out of something. Okay, so we all know that when you are playing football, you have to kick it across the field. But what does it mean to get a kick out of something? Well, it basically means that you take delight in something. You like something so much that it brings you extreme happiness. In a sentence, I could say something like, my brother gets a kick out of collecting old coins. Some of you get a kick out of playing football. Well, I get a kick out of watching good movies. What do you get a kick of? Come on, put those comments below. Let's look at our next expression in the meantime, which is kick something off. Okay, now when you kick something off, what are you doing? It basically means that you are starting something or initiating an activity. Okay, this expression is a little different from the first one that we saw, right? This one is basically starting an activity. It does not talk about gaining momentum. It simply means that let's start immediately. And in a sentence, you could say, we kicked off the sports ceremony with a grand opening. Okay, when the FIFA started, it was a huge ceremony, right? And I believe that there was this beautiful dance and singing going on. I didn't watch the ceremony, but I believed that it kicked off in style, that the sports ceremony kicked off in a very grand way. Okay, so it basically means you started something and you initiate an activity, with style, and you do it quickly. But there are some more football expressions which basically means to keep one's eye on the ball. Now, even if you are not a football expert or if you're not someone who is great at playing the game, we all know logically that you need to keep your eye on the ball. If your eye goes away, or if you stop looking at the ball, what's going to happen? You might not score a goal and you might not win the game. The chances of you winning the game become very less. In other words, people who keep their eye on the ball, they are focused on the most important thing. They do the right thing to get success. They do the right thing to achieve their goals. Okay, that's what it means to keep your eye on the ball. So, in a sentence, I could say, don't get upset with her comments. Just do your work and keep your eyes on the ball. A lot of times when you are doing something new, maybe starting a business or just doing anything, there are people who are going to come at you with hurtful comments, sarcastic comments even. But you don't take care of that. You don't worry about that. You must simply keep your eyes on the ball. You have to look at the end result, the goal. Achieve your goals. Now, a lot of times you will notice that there are some people in the football field, they sit and they don't play the game. They sit on the sidelines, the place where the coaches and the injured footballers who can't play, that's where they sit. That's called the sidelines. Now, is that a good place to be at? Well, I don't think so. I think it's always good to be in the game, right? Because the game is where the excitement is. So if you are watching from the sidelines, it basically means that you are not actively involved in something. Now, that's not a good thing, because you want to actively be involved in something. You want to contribute to something in a much bigger way. So, in a sentence, I would say something like, women have always been watching from the sidelines in politics. But the good news is that now this is slowly changing, right? Because now we have the US Vice President for the first time, which means that women are now not watching from the sidelines anymore, right? Girl power. Anyway, let's go to the next sentence, the next idiom, which is move the goalposts. Okay, now I don't think this really happens in football, but we have two goalposts, right, on either side of the football field. What if you were to move them? I think that would confuse the players, right? Like imagine Ronaldo is trying to score a goal and he thinks the goal is over here, and suddenly you move that goal to here. Well, he's going to be really confused and he's going to be a little mad at you. Okay, so what does it mean to move the goalpost? It means that you are changing the rules or changing the goal, changing the rules to make it difficult to achieve your targets. There are some people, they don't have defined targets. So today this is a target. You try to achieve the target, they change the target to something else. They change that to something else, and it really confuses you. It makes you a little bit angry because you want to achieve something, but somehow, because you're changing the rules so often, you can't seem to achieve anything. It's not a good thing. How would you say that in a sentence? You can say, we almost signed the contract, almost, but the other party, they moved the goalposts. They are now asking us to raise their commission. So when we initially had the deal, we said we'd give you so much of money and they said yes. But now they changed the rules. And now somehow we can't say yes to the deal. So they moved the goalposts. It's not a good thing. It really annoys people. It makes people very confused. Okay? But there are some people who also play political football. Okay, well, football is a game, but if you play that in politics, well, that becomes political football. Well, what is it really all about? Let's have a look. A lot of politicians, they sometimes argue only to get political advantage. Okay, so in a parliament or in the House of Senates, sometimes you will see politicians arguing about various matters. Do they really care about it? I don't think so. They argue only because they will get some sort of political points. They will seem like they care, but they actually do not, which is not a good thing to do, but it's probably a good political move. Who knows? In a sentence, I would say, no politician really cares about immigration. Well, why? Because this topic is only debated for the sake of political football, only for the sake of argument. They just want to look good politically. That's all. They're playing political football. Now, some people blow the whistle on. Who blows the whistle? Who blows the whistle? The referee blows the whistle. And why does the referee blow the whistle in a game? Mainly to give you a penalty. Okay, you've done something wrong. You've not followed the rules of the game, and you're probably going to get a penalty. So, this is a negative expression, obviously. It means that you are publicly shaming someone for them doing something wrong. So, someone has done something wrong, but you are publicly shaming them. That's what it means to blow the whistle on somebody who is doing something wrong, but you are doing it in public, making everyone aware of their wrongdoing. So I can say that a fashion brand, recently there was a fashion brand that got cancelled. Why? Because the media blew the whistle on them for using child labor for its production. So they were actually this fashion brand and they were producing these luxury products. But you know what? The media publicly shamed them. Why? Because they were doing something wrong. They were involved in child abuse, child labor, which is child abuse really, right? So they blew the whistle on these people. Keep score. Of course, how would you know if someone's winning if you don't keep score? How do I know that Portugal is 2 versus Spain, which is only 1? How do I know that? I need to keep score. In other words, I need to remember. Outside of football, it basically means that you are remembering or keeping a track or keeping a record of someone's good and bad behavior. Okay, especially in relationships, we kind of keep an eye on whether this person is doing a good thing for us or the person is behaving badly with us. How many times have they taken you out for dinner? How many times have they been mad at you? You're keeping score, you're keeping a record of everything. How can you use this in a sentence? Is that a good thing? I don't think it's a good thing. But in the sentence, you could say, if you want a healthy relationship, you can't always keep score. You can't always keep a record of people doing good or bad. You can't do that. Okay, you can't keep score. It's not real football. It's life. So you can't keep score. Okay. All right. Let's have a look at the next expression, which is taking sides. All right. So in a game, there are two sides. Okay. Now, if you're taking sides, it basically means you're supporting one person, one group, or one opinion over the other one. Of course, in a game you can do that, and in real life also you must not do that. Why? Because look at the sentence. It says, when there is a disagreement between your team colleagues, it's best not to take sides. Okay, so two people are fighting, they're having a disagreement. If you support only one person, what's going to happen? Well, the fight will get worse. The other people will now start fighting with you. You don't want that. So don't take sides. In football, you don't take sides, and in real life, you don't take sides either. So these are the expressions which you must use when you are talking to people in general conversations, even in formal conversations. And believe me, these are all inspired by the lovely game of football. Tell me which is your favorite one, and do make your own sentences and put them in the comments below. I will give you my own personal feedback and tell you if you are right. I'll be back with some more lessons. Until then, this is me saying keep learning and watch the game and enjoy it. Have a nice day. Bye.